Sadhusi Vandana, he said we should colonize the world. We should have Hare Krishna colonies everywhere. We are the colonizators. You know? So Prabhupada was in this mood. But that doesn't mean that you have one colony and you lose the other. Prabhupada was very much keen to sustain things and keep them in place, even sometimes at the cost of further development. He said, you don't move ahead unless you don't have this area secure. This is a very important principle because, I mean, it can be easily demonstrated. You open a BTG magazine, try to call any address which is there. I can tell you quite frankly that probably 1/4 of this address doesn't exist anymore, and the rest nobody picks up the phone. You know, it's just like, this is our address book. Welcome, there's nobody here. Welcome, there's nobody here. It's kind of embarrassing. Just imagine somebody really comes. I'm here. Well, we aren't here. But you are welcome. So Prabhupada wants us to train in a mood that we are always in a mood of welcome. That means if I welcome somebody, I have to be also available. And how do I stay available? Well, first of all, I stay. I don't move around like this. And staying is defined first by consciousness, not a physical thing. Sometimes people stay physically together, but they are so far from each other you cannot imagine. And sometimes people can live on quite some distance and still they are very closely connected. So it's an all question of consciousness. So that means that we should stabilize our consciousness. That's the reason why the sadhana is here, that's the reason why regulation is here, that's the reason why instructions are here. And that's the reason why authorities are also here. Authority, that scary word, authority, it's just meaning. There's a meaning to it. So Prabhupada said, not too much organization. He also already aware of the problem coming. When the Sankirtan devotees start to disappear in the offices of the huge temples, you know. And what is the office in a temple? It's all about money, women, power. It's there, all sitting, waiting for it. Then, and when you start to believe it, and you focus your life on these three things, well, then you already finish spiritual goals. Once you disconnect that what is there as an asset from the purpose of the whole thing. So we should always remember what's the purpose of the whole thing. The purpose is to have a universally and globally available welcome mood. It was demonstrated by the hippies in the beginning. Prabhupada cooked the Sunday feast and they came and ate it. Until Prabhupada had to really make a point, this is not just for you to eat this. You have to invite others. Please invite your friends. Direct your attention to the... It wasn't like this in the beginning. The hippies were like, Prabhupada cooked, very nice. Prabhupada, ki jai. And they said there will be their little family like this forever. And then Prabhupada showed and demonstrated by his departure. It was very shocking for them. And suddenly he just left. And he went for San Francisco, and he went for Los Angeles, and he went all over the world. Because his concept of welcome was really big. Really big. It encompassed the whole planet. Welcome. The hippies couldn't understand. That's what he means. He means really the whole planet, welcome. And Prabhupada said, no, it's not. It's just the beginning. The welcome is so big that even I cannot sometimes understand how big the welcome of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. But he always stressed this welcome is responsibility. You just don't welcome and leave people alone in the toilet. No. So this mood was all the time cultivated, and this is actually how this movement started, and that's also how it can be maintained by personal contact all the time. So when it gets depersonalized, well, then it just becomes more and more mundane institution. It's as simple as that. Very mundane institution. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending in its highest form. Institutionalizing. Creating simply rules which nobody follows anyway. Because we don't have one thing, or we don't have two things. Karma is managed by paying people, and then there is police. Like that. We have no police, we have no money. So how do we maintain? How do we actually, what can we give to people? That's only possible for those who have appreciation for the spiritual values which are here offered. And that can be transmitted only by preaching again. So if you don't understand what we are doing, or we forget what we are doing, it's going to fall apart. Simple as that. This is only maintained by our consciousness. Being conscious and coming from the state of unconsciousness. Prabhupada went even so far, he said, consciousness means, you are conscious means Krishna conscious. If you are not Krishna conscious, then you are unconscious. That means you are plugged again into the material energy who will just manipulate you in a state of some coma. Jeev jago, please wake up. Otherwise it's all sleeping condition. This is the strife of a devotee. As ultimately Krishna is even very, very plain with Arjuna. This was our one of the most favorite Sankirtan shlokas. Therefore, get up. Prepare to fight and win glory. Krishna is already saying how it's going to be. Conquer your enemies. He doesn't say relax and win the glory. He said prepare a fight. That means you have to do your part. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. An invitation to hedonism or what? No, it's not hedonism, because hedonism is defined as something you enjoy separately from Krishna. With Krishna, enjoy your kingdom. Why not? This is a point which devotees very often miss. We are meant to enjoy with Krishna. No, we should stop. Krishna consciousness. I have no pneumonia, what do you have? Oh, I am so miserable today. I feel very much advanced because this body is just so rushing. And how did you suffer before into Krishna consciousness? Oh, it was wonderful, it was much worse. And now I suffer for Krishna. I'm certainly making advancement. I'm so much full of pain, and I hate it. I hate the Mahalaukic. I hate the chanting, but I'm doing it. That's austerity. You hate it, and you do it nevertheless. That's austerity. Look, you see how austere I am? I am so unique. I am so distinct. I am so famous. I am so powerful because of this austerity, because I do something I hate so much. And I do it anyway. How great! I must be very spiritual advanced. I'm much more advanced as these people who hate it all and they don't do it. That's what makes me really unique. I'm a big preacher, Shut up! I suffer for Krishna every day. Oh, you know how much of this we have around us? It's so concentrated sometimes, this pathos of misery, that the temples become like this. It's like people come to the temple and go, oh, they suffer even more as us. Well, I drink some beer and I'm happy, Look at this. He's sitting there on the floor and and look at him. He is austere. He is not dressing anymore. He's naked. And look at him. He gave up even washing and cleaning. He is so dirty. How much austere he must be. I want to get more detail. It can get insulting. So conquer enemies, enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. What is a pacifying thing to say? And you, Vastavya Sachin, can be but an instrument in the fight. But instrument, Krishna conscious instrument, is actually a very, very intricate issue. It's a conscious instrument, not an unconscious instrument, like the tools we use to cut and to drill. They don't do anything. You just lie there. You pick it up and that's it. But this is a conscious instrument, which consciously allowing himself to be used in Krishna's service in full consciousness. It's an instrument full of bliss, initiative. All these things are still there, but in absolute harmony with Krishna. Well, that takes a little while to get to that state. Like I said, we are still a little bit connected here, a little bit connected there, and it creates a kind of shortcut. A little bit schizophrenic thinking. So that's called marginal energy. Always can waver. So the challenge is how to be more and more connected to the spiritual side. And therefore we need the Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. And again, it's voluntary. Where you place your trust, nobody can dictate that. You know, therefore the system we used to have, that you come to Krishna consciousness, here's your Guru, already here. That's the local Guru. And that's you must put the face, you can follow, you must follow. If you don't follow in this zone, this Guru, you're finished. Well, some of the Gurus became finished. You know, because you cannot cut faith in zones, you know, like that. The relation between disciple and Guru is the ultimate form of personalism. It's an absolutely heart level placement. You place your faith and you place it. And it's mutual. As Prabhupada once standing on a balcony told to one sannyasi next to him, Z, a Mataji, picking some flowers down there for the offering. And he said, you know, is he here? She is ready to die for you. You know why? Because I'm ready to die for him. I mean, how much more you can say? You know, it's like Dadichi, you know. I give my body to her, and she gives her body to me. That's called really being not the body. You sacrifice all your consideration regarding the body for a higher purpose. And that feeling we have. Therefore we could go on the street and just take the German police and kicks in the face and guns on the head, and I don't know what we did, but you know, yeah, at least 2-3 times a day somebody's stealing a book, people insulting, kicking you. And Germans are really good at this. They are professionals. They really know how to administer pain in a very organized and efficient way. Didn't matter at all. Because we felt that warmth of Prabhupada's, you know, affection and the love, you know. You know, you felt it. Through that service, you felt it absolutely. So they're just laughing. You know, they said, who organized the whole thing? Here, this illicit collection. Showing a picture of which you can take a photo of him. Put him in a police bus. Get out! They said, you are completely mad. You follow anything what the Guru said. I said, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Bye-bye. The Buddhists were so confident. I mean, that was really, people could feel this. This person, how do you make him doubtful? How do you shake his faith? It was so strong. And on that, everything was based. If you don't have faith, what do you want to do? You can see Arjuna not having initially faith. Couldn't even hold his bow, sitting in a chariot, cry. Big Arjuna. That's what happens when the faith gets lost. Some questions? Comments?
We hear often that the soul is still in the spiritual world, even though in the body. Like the soul is still, as I understand it, present in the spiritual world. And of course we are here. So does it mean the soul divides?
No. It doesn't mean one of the There's another question was asked, how the Acharya can be present in the spiritual world and simultaneously guiding his disciples here. It's one thing, because Prabhupada pointed out, we still try to see it in a material way. You know, that just to be divided so it can be in 2 places. No, the spiritual context is not like this. But of course, in our case, The spiritual part is covered. It's deactivated. Up to the point where the soul is like a spark. It's not fully manifested. Not developed is a dangerous word because it will suggest that the soul is kind of subjected to some external influence to develop. No. It's not activated yet. Krishna consciousness means to activate, to become conscious. So there's no difference. Visual example. You could see it. Even in a very conditioned state, you could see how Prabhupada acts. And then he is completely his own thing. Sometimes the spirit will took over so much that he stopped functioning on a material. That manifests to this uncontrolled ecstasy or it's Krishna Maharaj describes so nicely that as a servant, it was 4 or 5 days, Prabhupada was completely silent. And silence of Prabhupada was the most threatening thing. When he became silent, he always got scared and panicked because you couldn't define the reason why it happened sometimes. And sometimes it was clear, like when things were vulgar, familiar, it happens. Hippies. Hey Prabhupada, I would see it in a different way. And Prabhupada became very sad. And that silence was like, it couldn't believe. It became worse and worse until people like doing some pleading, Prabhupada, please can you say something? Smash me, kill me, but do something, please. Prabhupada, this silence was a heavy treatment. So then Prabhupada was silent for 5 days like this. And Krishna Maharaj dared to come on and say, Prabhupada, you didn't say anything since 4 or 5 days. Is there something wrong? Did you do something wrong? Please, what is our mistake? And Prabhupada looked at him like coming out of a dream, and he said, no, everything is okay. I was just in a very special mood. Okay, cry, Prabhupada ki jai. He is to give us vacation. He was out there with Krishna doing something we had no idea about. And I got to notice that personally when he was last time in England, the Prabhupada couldn't come back again. He lost the control. There was no management anymore, nothing. Prabhupada was just rocked from one ecstasy to another. And you sit this close to Prabhupada while he actually goes from one spiritual ecstasy to another. It's something I can reproduce in words actually. You still don't know what's going on, but you know there's such an action going on in the spiritual world. You don't even catch up with this. There's all these things going on. It was like watching something bombastic, gigantic going on. You don't know what it is. You just know it's happening. Yeah. But this is spiritual possible. I mean, it's a maybe very, very gross example, but you already experience that you can actually sing and you can walk something. Like example, your old choreography here. That doesn't mean that you are totally, consciously present while you're doing it. Especially when you do it for a whole day, it's like, okay. And you do it quite nicely, you are kind of conscious, but you can sing and you can do anything you want. Because the mind and the physical activity can completely get. It's a very gross example, but it's simply like that. Pure devotee can act in the spirit, in the material world, under Krishna's instruction, fine, and still he has such a show going on with him personally. It's called activated devotional service. Our devotional service is performed along sadhana, but you cannot say it's fully activated. those who prematurely claim to have a direct relationship and to be directly guided by Krishna and having this rasa going on, without exception, they are Sahajiras. Without exception. Because those who really have this going on, they don't show it. They don't speak about it, they don't. It's like one devotee, the Miso Prabhupada, going into this ecstasy during Radha Madhava. Prabhupada stopped chanting and this ecstasy came. It became silent until some devotees started to chant instead. There was a kirtan that was the end of the lecture. So Prabhupada came up and one of his servants said, Prabhupada, what an ecstasy. Prabhupada looked completely like a boy who just came from the school and missed the test. He looked very guilty and you could have said, but I don't do this very often, isn't it? Because those who indulge such a thing, and I can produce a whole bunch of letters, how heavy Prabhupada was not to discuss Radha Krishna Rasa Lila publicly. Not even published in BTG. Forbidden. Prabhupada is not for public. We are preaching, we are not this body and this and that. That doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about Krishna like that. We can quote from Prabhupada's words. The Krishna book is there, so what? But when Prabhupada wrote Krishna book, relatively fast. When he came to this Rasa section, he stopped almost. And devotees were already publishing and editors and this and that. When Prabhupada happened, Prabhupada said, don't push me, I have to put it very carefully. Just very cautious how to present it, so people don't get the wrong idea. Prabhupada was very heavy on this one. There's one Vaishnava in Germany, before spitting out the chewing tobacco in his mouth, told me, I cannot speak about Rasa Lila anymore. And I told him, looking at him and he's chewing tobacco, I said, no. And then he stopped speaking to me. This is a huge difference between Prabhupada's preaching and other devotees. I'm saying devotees, Vaishnava's preaching. There's a big difference. That's why Prabhupada wrote the line. The others don't. Any woman coming in and doing, Gopi, Gopi, Gopi. And we have so many gopis and Krishnas and little Nityanandas and unmanifested Nityanandas and all this stuff. Simply for Gopi and Krishna, and then comes the social welfare and abortion. No, but it's so key that we are not going to go in this direction. Always remember, hey, let's try not to be the body, okay? So it's difficult to remember, but we saw it illustrated. It's practical. I saw it personally, that you can be like, devotee like Prabhupada can be, while he talks to you, he can simultaneously talk to Krishna. Therefore, pure devotee sometimes consider enlightenment, because sometimes he is not relating to the present social context. He gets drawn into the spiritual reality, and then he sees ridiculousness. People go, love and peace in the material world, and no, and all this discussion. The pure devotee is all dying, lovingly and peacefully, we are all dying. What do you want to talk about? So that's how the man yesterday started. He said, when I read these books of yours, sometimes I get even more pessimistic. I told him, that's the beginning of being optimistic. It was so easy in front of the devotees, because I just told them, do they look pessimistic? Angel his mouth, from ear to ear, just and then devotees chanting, I told him, do they look pessimistic? And he was going, no. And this is also Copenhagen. We are in Copenhagen. Now when you tell me Copenhagen is a depressing, lunatic circus, I fully agree. It's very depressing. In the midst of the sunshine, I'm even more depressed. The illusion is even more magnified. But is this depressing? No. Why don't you do that? It's really nice to preach. It's such a wonderful program with vegetarian Saturday because it's so all inclusive, you know. I want to say something, well first you eat something. That's the first argument. Eat. I was thinking eat. I believe eat. That's the first thing. First you eat, then we will discuss. Very practical. And when you eat prasad, you sit down and listen. Here, is he chanting? Listen. And there are a few people who always go to the book. That's also very inspiring to see. That's actually very high level. When somebody comes and is interested in the book. So, such a wonderful thing. So it's good to know that such an existence does exist. But it doesn't mean Prabhupada was negligent. I'm in the spiritual world, you are messing around here. No. He was very intense in the dealings because from a spiritual point of view, there is no difference. For him there was no difference. Offering incense here, offering incense in the spiritual world, it's the same thing. If you can maintain this level of sankirtan, you will get some idea what it means to not to be the body. I know the sankirtan devotees, simple devotees, not a big intellectuals. Just laughing in the shopping street. I came, I said, oh, now you went to Mat again. What is this? Some kind of old LSD trip again or what? No, then I realized he's doing everything. So I said, what happened? And he said, I'm not this body. You know what I was just thinking? I was thinking, actually, about my grandmother while listening to Prabhupada's books. And I was just getting the idea, what is my grandmother doing on Sankirtan? She's now with me, okay? What is she doing here? It's so bizarre, I can only laugh. My grandmother goes on Sankirtan. What is she doing here? I always hated that woman. So, you know, it's like, this kind of things come to you, like, it's like so bizarre. Your mind goes, remember grandmother? My dear mind, please, don't be ridiculous. That's how I become happy. Not by stopping suffering, but taking distance from the misery. It's not me. What do I have to do with this? That alone brings so much ecstasy about. Just to get a glimpse of the idea we are not this body. The next minute they again go, oh, I feel that I think that I didn't got what I wanted. Oh no. If I could, maybe I should. You know, all this frustrating. The Sankirtan is like a kick out of the whole situation, and suddenly you see. Like yesterday I told them, I mean, you are definitely very productively depressed, but you want to stay like this for the rest of your life. Can you imagine to live like this for how many years more? He said, no. He said, well, then you have to make some conscious endeavor to get out of that. The choice is yours, please.